This bumper, along with multiple other parts of my car, are made by a company called 777. And in this video, we're gonna go to their headquarters and confront them about a beef that I've had with them for the longest time.
I'll be honest with you, my biggest gripe, my main issue with 777 Performance, I've had beef with them for the longest time. No, I cannot give you a date because say it off camera, what is it?
It was the... All right, so we just pulled up to headquarters. The car's looking fantastic. But there's one thing that's really cool is I just noticed Matt's car is right in the front and he has these brand new canards that I have not seen on the website. Also really cool is he has some new wheels right here. In fact,
hey, what's up, Juan? How's it going?
What's up, bro?
Good?
Dude, good to see you. So before we go inside, I would love to see the parts that you have available right now for your Dark Horse, as well as like these other ones that I see that you're actually prototyping right now. And if you wanted to, you could take a look at my car because you know a lot more about this kind of stuff than I do and see what you think about my setup.
Sure, absolutely, love
to.
to.
So I guess let's start with your wheels. These are really cool. I've been considering these for my car to set up like if I had like a track set of wheels. So can you tell me about these?
As soon as we got the Dark Horse, we really desperately wanted to make 18s, and we did it so much as to 3D printing the wheels and stuff like that to test it, and we still had issues because the face of the caliper, it's a bit tough to see, but it looks like there's some kind of clearance. There's really not. This is a 19, and the back of the caliper kind of opens up as you get further towards the inside of the car. And so we try to make 18s. They don't work out so much, and so we essentially settled for these 19s, and this is what we came up with. It was a 19-inch. This is 19 by 11, and we run 315 squares.
Whoa, yeah, 315. Yeah. So I would never be able to fit something like that up here, right?
You could.
Really?
Yeah, you could. We run, like even on our track car, which is based off of the S650, we run a 3065 18, which is the full Michelin slick, basically, that you see in the GT4 cars. And so you can fit a lot more rubber in these cars than you would believe.
Yeah, these new seats. So you guys are offering this seat as like a 777 product?
We're working with OMP. We've been working with a few different companies, and these new seats are just like the best of both worlds in a sense. You have a quality Alcantara and leather fixed back bucket seat with FIA rating, and we have it set up to where you can.
Yeah, the material is incredible.
And the whole car smells like freaking leather as soon as you do it. New. We have it set up to where you have the 3-point and the 6-point. So if you're on track, you can use the 6 points, and then if you're on the street, use the 3-point. But no, it's awesome, and my favorite.
And then you got the whole roll cage, and mine only have just a harness bar, which I'm sure you're gonna roast me about the whole thing.
No, as long as it's set up correctly, I'll criticize you for it.
For sure.
But do you want to ride in the car?
Yeah, I'd love to ride in the car.
All right, cool.
All right, so now we are getting a chance to ride. This is actually my first time in a Dark Horse. Okay. I haven't even sat in a Dark Horse yet, and quite the one to get into because this thing is set up really cool. These are much more serious than the harnesses in my car. They're actually 6 points, so there's the 2 extra points at the bottom, which mine has the option to, but I haven't installed it because I'm a, I don't know, racer or something. Very cool. What material is that?
This is aluminum, 6061, and what's cool is that we machined the part, and the Ford one, when we did find out, it's actually 3D printed, the factory Ford one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you open it up, and what's really cool is I know that the designers, I'll see if I can find that upstairs, the factory one, added a small, let's call it impossible to machine section. I feel like it was just for themselves to show that, okay, this was made with, I think it was SLM, and then with a machining pass, but a titanium shift knob was probably why it's so expensive. But yeah, we replaced it with this because I was just not a fan of the blue. That was it.
Oh, wow.
And but yeah, we do have these on the website, and they're super nice. And yeah, it's the T56, right? Or the TR3160.
Last time I rode in the S550, I was so scared.
No, I don't think you'll be quite as scared as in this thing. It's a lot more tame. The S550 is only getting crazier, I guess. The brakes on this car, this is supposedly the
like the
distance.
fastest brakes ever, faster than any Ferrari or whatever. Which I thought was like shocking, but also really cool because it kind of levels the playing field between the super exotic, very expensive cars and the ones that like normal person can afford.
No, yeah, exactly. granted, you know, the one thing that I still complain about this car, I feel like every day, the one thing that I was like, ugh, that I wish we could find a way to make better is I'm not sure if it's the E-Pass or if it's the Magna-Ride. We're going to be putting coilovers on this car and see kind of how we can solve it, but there's not a lot of connection between the steering wheel and what's going on below you. And so it makes the car pretty easy to drive.
So there's more in our car? The old one?
Yeah, way more.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is funny because like they had said that it was the opposite.
Supposed to be stiffer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like more connected,
No,
supposedly.
You feel less. And this is the...
Oh wow, the sound. Oh, it sounds so different from my car.
Yeah, I think, well, this one has an X-pipe, and that's the only thing that we've done differently. But
sounds way different than my car.
We haven't touched the exhaust much, primarily because the diffuser that we're doing does require a change in exhaust.
Oh, some sliding there. I can feel it. Oh my gosh.
Here, this is the brakes. I'll show you the brakes. You're holding onto your phone? Good?
Yeah, hold on. Oh shit. Damn. Wait, what was that sound?
The Garmin.
Oh.
It thinks we got into an accident.
That's how hard it broke that the Garmin thinks we got into an accident. That's wild. Oh, here we go. Sheesh. Okay, I might bring my car to this corner once we're done. Okay, so that was a really fun drive in this car, but now, Matt, and this is rare, I don't let anyone drive my car, but he's a professional race car driver, so what am I gonna say? So Matt's gonna finally get to drive my car. He's gonna give me an opinion and see what he thinks about my setup, how it feels, and more importantly, take a look at my brakes too, because they feel a little, I don't know, I think they could be a little sharper. Oh yeah, this, for whatever reason, doesn't go, and like if you bump it at all, it'll be like engaged. Really? It's really annoying. And I've replaced the cable too, and I don't know how to fix it. In fact, it's probably dangerous because like try to pull it up, you'll notice that the back wheels never lock. Like yank it, you'll notice that it will like not even slow down, like hardly.
Okay, you've replaced the cable, but have you adjusted it?
Oh yes, actually I have. The one that makes it, yes, I have adjusted that.
No, they're good.
You can give it a nice hard stop to
let me see.
Test it out. Oh, actually,
No, they're good.
maybe it's because I'm in the passenger seat that
No, they feel fine in the driver's seat. I think what you're thinking of, again, maybe this is something that comes and goes. I don't know, because if it's a brake fluid thing. But I think what you're thinking of is bite. You don't have a lot of bite.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it's not much bite.
No, but it feels good. The E-Pass on the S650 is so bad.
So what's that E-Pass thing?
Electric power assisted steering.
Oh, okay.
So one thing. So you wanted advice, I guess. So the first thing is you can adjust these. I feel what you're talking about. I still feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
These are meant to be adjusted to where you can just barely kind of like fit your hand in there.
Yeah,
So that's what you're feeling, the catching on the other side. And so we have the video showing like the measurement for how it should be.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I mean, I would say the steering wheel, you're gonna feel like a lot more once you do the swap.
Mm-hmm. Which we're gonna talk about this later, because one of my biggest beefs with 777 is that I don't have a dang removable steering wheel. Everyone else got one, and somehow the Mustangs have been left out. God. So we are gonna be talking about that later when we get to the steering wheel portion in this video.
No, that's gonna be exciting. Well, this is going to be exciting because like I remember it was a huge trend. Everybody would do these essential kind of steering wheels. Yeah. And then I was stuck to the OEM 350R one. Mm-hmm. And then now with these, since the diameter gets smaller and the actual wheel itself gets lighter, you start to like, you feel it a little bit more in the road. You feel like what's going on below you. That and we got to get you seats, man.
All right, he's been giving me crap about the seats all day long. And honestly, I like these seats. I like the seats in his car as well. But the thing about them is I actually use heated and cooled all the time in this car. Like literally all the time. Even on the way here, I was using the cooled seats. At night, I like to use the heated seats. And on top of that, one of the main reasons why I got this car was because of the red interior. When I was deciding between going with a GT as the dream build or a GT 350, I landed on the GT because it was the only way that I could get the red interior. So, I'm sorry, Matt, I had to stick to my seats.
I'll get you, if you like red, we'll get you some Bell X pads.
Maybe if they have heated and cooled, I don't know. Dude, this is a lot bigger than I remember. So I had stopped by back whenever they were in just like a storage facility, basically, right?
Yeah.
And this is so much, this is like 4 times the size.
Right, so we wanted to do more manufacturing for motorsport. So splitters, floors, diffusers, and even rear wings. And so we kind of started to develop a formula to make sure that it kind of was something that we could do in-house. We invested in those components, we invested in the design, and yeah, now that means that we needed equipment to kind of bring that idea to life. This is a bit of a prototype. We're working on a box that will essentially, moving forward, have all of our bumpers, our 3-piece Motorsport bumpers, come inside of. And so requires no hardware, and it's just on a hinge. And then this is going to be shipping out, not this specific one, different material, but it's going to be going to our TCR customers, the Civics. And then I wish we had some finished splitters to show you, but most of the ones that...
Well, I see a splitter over here. Maybe you want to...
So we've been kind of running out of, not running out, but we've been finishing up this material that we've been using. That, again, we only kind of find out where the problems are over time when it comes to, you know, assembly and stuff like that. And it takes so long for us to make one splitter out of the honeycomb. That's so that when we add the leading edge, it takes 24 hours to cure for the adhesive to cure. And it adds maybe 2 hours of labor to making a single splitter. And so we've switched to a foam-based core. And so essentially what we have is a nylon sandwich. And that means that we can have like a 20 millimeter thick, 3/4 of an inch splitter, and it only weighs 14 pounds.
Yeah. No, that's something that's really interesting because I look at the splitter and I think to myself, well, this is like, I've never seen a splitter this thick. Like usually even the splitter on my car was like less than half the size of this. Why does this affect it at all being that thick?
It does. It actually does help tremendously in downforce.
So it's better thick.
It is better thick. You can actually have a little bit more flexibility in the design of your leading edge. Oh, okay. And so it can actually do something. I joke around, I'm like the self-tapped, you know, splitters that you're used to that go on bumpers. Yeah, they stay on, but that's because they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
What I'm really excited about is alongside the splitter, with all of the components per chassis being finalized, we'll be able to put out data on CFD and all the aerodynamics, and also kind of like spoon-fed information as to, okay, here's factory, here's the components and the variables that we have based off of the data, so that you can know, okay, is this gonna work for my car or not? Because man, even like a 20 millimeter difference in ride height when we're doing CFD makes a tremendous difference on the data. So how is it that I can give you basically, hey, these are the numbers, this is the downforce that the car is generating?
Yeah. When you don't know all the details.
I don't know everything about the customer's car.
Yeah.
And so we're basically gonna have available data to where you can manipulate it, you can look at it yourself. We're not gonna hide anything from you. And so...
That's one thing is right now I've been looking for a wing. And I know you guys used to make a wing.
We did.
And right now I'm looking for a wing, and I'm looking for ones that actually have data that like to stand behind it. There's one that I like a lot, and I won't say their name, but basically I had messaged them and I asked, hey, I love the look of your wing, I want to put it on my car, but do you guys have any sort of data talking about downforce or anything so I can see how that would affect it? And their response was, no, not really, but all wings are the same. Literally word for word, they said all wings are the same. Yeah, and so I was like, definitely not buying this one. But the look of it was really pretty, I won't lie. I mean,
say it off camera, what is it?
It was the...
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, we're very fortunate now to where we have some of the infrastructure to kind of facilitate us making these parts. Yeah. as a small business that are making some components and stuff like that, it can get really expensive to spend this money on the data when you have to sell a complete package. I'll be honest with you, my biggest gripe is that most of the people who are supplying data, they're not supplying the education on how to interpret that data. And that's arguably more important. So we get questions about CFD and stuff like that. And most of the time I'm just thinking, I'm like, if I gave you the raw data that we have for this,
you wouldn't even know what to do with it.
You wouldn't know what to do with it. So that's something that I'm excited for this year.
I noticed something here. What's this? Oh, this is for,
Your
is this
car.
a GT500?
Yeah, this is.
Bro.
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah, these are the GTE lights.
Wait, are you already selling them where they come with this, like on this grill like this? You are?
Yeah, we've been selling these.
I've been missing out this whole time. Now, can I wire these into my fog lights that are now gone?
Yeah.
Brother, I'm gonna leave spending a lot of money today. I know that much.
Basically, we now have access to a 5x10 CNC machine with a conveyor belt that offloads. So all of the splitters, all of the floors, all of the diffusers, and moving forward, some of the wings, and a few other products that you'll see, they'll be coming off of this machine. And the cool part is, as soon as the product is done being made, it offloads it for the next job to start, which is super cool. And it just means that we can make more parts available to people and charge essentially a more affordable price because we have the capacity to make more. Oh, actually, let me show you this. We just got in a shipment. These are all Hot Wheels wall mounts. All of these. There's 50,000 of them. These are the clear variants. So it's super easy. You take one of these and we include the hardware. You just push it on the wall with a thumbtack and a Hot Wheel. Well, I'll show you upstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a bunch of these.
Really sick.
They've been super popular.
Wow, you got a ton of them.
Yep. Really quick, I just wanted to show you two things right here. It seems like this is just like a bunch of junk, but this bumper, this white bumper here, this is the first prototype that came off of the machines that we have upstairs, and we even made a video documenting. Yeah, this white bumper is 3D printed, and if you just clean it up, you would never even be able to tell that it's not.
So when you 3D printed them, you like glued the pieces together, but I don't see any like glue lines.
A good body shop will do a good job.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And we were able to test fit, and now it's made production. We have a fiberglass, or a FRP and a carbon fiber version of it.
So once you 3D print it, the body shop goes ahead and smooths all those, all that like glue and stuff, and then paints over it, and then that's how you're able to get that finish?
Exactly. And so we'll have that, and we'll photograph it and everything, and that's how we find out, does the data work or not? Does it fit?
Wow. And so are you going to be eventually delivering 3D printed bumpers, or is this just for prototypes?
Just for prototypes.
Okay.
It just basically means that instead of it taking, 6 months to, because we have to outsource the prototyping, it means that it takes now like maybe 2 weeks to actually print something
So
out.
it's going to speed up your production a lot more, coming out with new products and all that. What parts are you making with these right now?
So right now we just finished a small job, but we're printing some interior panels, basically from a scan. And so what we did was we took all of these parts here, scanned them, and then we basically get...
Oh, so an Airbus is a helicopter?
Yeah, Airbus helicopter, So they make helicopters too. So we section them out and stuff like that, and you'll never actually see the ugly bits. It'll just look like a leather piece once it's all said and done. And then this is where a lot of our components get assembled and shipped out. This is our SLS printer. So a bunch of the small parts that you might be used to come from here. You have a build chamber that's actually missing, but it basically goes in here, and layer by layer, powder from this reservoir gets laid down in that build chamber, and you get basically a big tub full of 3D printed parts. And your job afterwards is move that tub over, and you clean them off. And I mean, you're kind of just playing like archaeologist or paleontologist or whatever, cleaning up those parts. And it just looks like powder, but once you've finished them, you've got your parts. You take them to the sandblaster, they look like end-use parts, and we dye them.
Oh wow, that was a lot more real than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. I thought these were like hard pieces, but no, that's like, it's like very fine like sand, as if it was from the moon or something.
No, exactly. These are some little key fobs we're working on. these as well. And we even do other projects like this. This is an injection mold from for the Cybertruck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is super neat. It's an injection molded part. So, and it's like the highest quality version of a Cybertruck center cap that you can get. So where I think we're rivaling OEM.
Yeah.
Because OEM had that recall, and these have been like fantastic.
Yeah, solid.
Oh, you snap it into place and it's like clack, like it's
like satisfying, yeah.
so satisfying.
Okay, so these are the FIA rain lights that Whistle and Diesel love so much, right?
Right. These are just the templates themselves. But yeah, they've become quite popular.
I heard that he loves them.
Oh yeah, he loves them.
I love how everyone in their Scion tries to flex the F1 taillight.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, I also heard it's very centered on your Supra.
It's very centered on the Supra.
Yeah.
I can't wait to pull out the Bosch laser level and show everybody. No,
I
but
definitely want to see that.
well, I sent over an email, Mr. Cody, about getting a motor in your F1 car. We do scanning, and we've got connections to where if you want that thing running, reply to my email.
And he will forgive you about what you said about the FIA rain
Oh no,
lights.
I don't care. It was the best compliment.
He'll forgive you.
It's a little test diffuser that we made, and so all the geometry gets tested, making sure that it works.
And then this one, is it going to be a 3D printed final product, or this is also going to be just prototypes or 3D printed?
See, that's the thing. Parts like this are kind of tricky. It's very easy to design parts in CAD that can be 3D printed.
Yeah.
Very difficult to design parts that are manufacturable.
Yeah.
This one, we have to make some substantial changes to it to make sure that it can actually be made out of carbon or something like that.
So the end goal is to have something like this out of carbon, and then that'll be like the final product?
Yeah, either that or something alternative like maybe vacuum formed, something that's like more affordable, because at the end of the day, the air doesn't really care what material.
Yeah.
It cares about the surfaces, it cares about the geometry.
Yeah.
And so we want to make it to where it's still attainable, still affordable. So if that means that we have to spend more money in the beginning with the molds, then that means we'll, as long as the data is good, then we can invest in that mold with confidence that the part's going to be good.
Oh, nice. And I even noticed there's 2 different textures here.
Different materials, yep, good eye. So this is a carbon fiber nylon based material, and this, if I'm not mistaken, is ABS, and you can even feel one is much smoother than the other.
Yeah, I could feel that.
And then it's a little dusty because of the powder from the machine.
So this was all really interesting. We were just looking at these rods and these pieces for the splitter. In fact, this key was really interesting. It feels really heavy in the hand. And yeah, it's like magnetic. It's super high quality feeling. I love that.
It's cool because this is essentially what's going to lock that splitter onto the car. And we have the quick releases and stuff like that, and we just updated this part to where it's a physical kind of tether, if you will, similar to how F1, when the wheels come off and stuff like that, they still have tethers that stick to the car. It was like a mandate. We essentially made that. And as over time, we've kind of kept the splitter low production, so we can see the challenges that kind of evolve with the splitters over time, and making changes when necessary. And then this is like an example of a bracket a tube that attaches the splitter to the car. So we designed this to where the entire mounting system is based off of it's M12. Everything is M12. We created this M12 insert that goes inside of carbon tubes, and they get riveted through the side, both sides, top and bottom. And these are just M12 threads. And the thing is that we try to keep this all essentially similar hardware, and we do our best to design parts as beautifully as possible.
Yeah. Well, not only do they look great, I'm also noticing you have kind of like a streamlined manufacturing, especially in the sense that a lot of these parts, yes, they're designed by you, but you have them made somewhere else, and then they come in and you assemble everything.
Exactly. The main goal that we had was like, you can't build Rome with like the few people that you have here, so you need help from others, people with better infrastructure as well. So find out what it is that you're good at and double down on it. And that's in that sense. And so we design all the parts.
I was even noticing this. You were telling me earlier that you're basically, whenever you order the SKU number, the VIN goes right here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So order comes in through the website, and once it comes in, that label gets printed with a QR code and then the name of what that product is. So maybe splitter for FK8 Honda, basically that order gets printed and slapped on here. And so as soon as it makes it downstairs to the CNC machine where all the splitters are cut, you have a stack of these guys. The operator goes, scans it, loads up the file that cuts your splitter. That same file will then cut the packaging for your splitter because each one is cut to match the shape. Yep. And then this gets hammered in. So all the way along the assembly process of the splitter, this QR code has all the information that dictates, the lengths of the tubes that people are cutting, the hardware that's going inside of the box, and all of the brackets and stuff like that that go onto the chassis. And so we've kind of spent the time to make sure that the workflow, the assembly line, is really smooth, apart from the hardware just being good quality.
Yeah.
And
Really cool.
like I even have, let's see, where is it? Like for example, this is a skid puck.
Oh, in fact, I was about to ask you about these. Okay, because on my splitter, you guys saw in my car, I have the first generation splitter, but at the front where the cables tie in, where that bolt is, right at the bottom of the splitter, my driveway is so steep, I scrape every single time, and there's like claw marks basically, down my driveway. So like something like that, I don't know if there's a way to do, would those fit on that?
Yeah, I mean the hardware is essentially somewhat universal. You can drill 2 holes and pass a bolt through it. Granted, you'll just have more claw marks.
Okay.
Because I have the same one.
A little bit
No, it does slide better.
Yeah.
It does, but you'll still see the lines on it.
And I think at one point you had them made out of jabrock, right? Which is like a type of wood.
Yeah, they were jabrock. It's basically like a densified wood. Basically the floors that you see for F1 cars. Well, now they're resin, but they used to be jabrock for a really long time. Basically, if the cars were ran at too low of a ride height, that would tell essentially the scrutineering people like if the car was ran too low, and that was like what they would measure.
But these are made of metal, so
Yeah, they're stainless.
so why metal?
It lasts pretty well. The stainless sparks kind of nicely, which is cool.
So that's super cool, but is that dangerous at all?
I just don't have any exposed fuel, I guess. No, but if you take a look at F1 cars, they're sparking all the time. There's a lot of titanium is usually what you see doing a lot of the sparking on those cars.
Have you sparked on your car yet at the track?
I have, but it not from the splitter, from the diff.
Oh, that's not good. Now it's time for actually the part that I was looking forward to the most in the video, and the main thing, my main issue with 777 Performance. I've had beef with them for the longest time. I reply almost on every single video they ever post, and it's all about this object right here. This steering wheel. Now, you may wonder, what's wrong with the steering wheel? It looks sick. Yeah, it looks sick, except it doesn't exist for my Mustang for whatever reason. And so now I'm here and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. This is why I came here. I needed to confront you about it.
This is my trial, my public defense.
Yeah, so why do I not have one of these? I'm willing to pay.
So the steering wheels, for the most part, what they're doing is imitating what those factory buttons are doing. So a lot of the people who are using on track, they'll set their cruise control from factory. That'll be the launch control and these kinds of features. We're imitating all of these functions, and that's what you do on the computer when you reassign those functions back. The problem is that the Mustang is just extra tricky in kind of reverse engineering, able to, for us to be able to imitate those functions. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with we just hate the Mustang cab. It has everything to do with it just happens to be a huge technical challenge. Similar to C8 Corvette. C8 Corvette, I mean, think about it. To us, everybody's thinking about cracking ECUs. To us, this is that similarness. Yeah. I guess that's the cracking the ECU part to us.
Okay, so is the work actually trying to figure out what those encrypted signals are, and then trying to basically mimic them? Is that what takes
essentially
a while?
That's probably the best explanation. That's the simplest way that you can kind of put it, is being able to replicate and imitate those functions.
Okay, so for anyone that's watching that wants one and has been waiting patiently, can you give us a date?
No, I cannot give you a date because when we solve one problem, 2 more appear, it seems like with this chassis for some reason. We're aiming for late summer of this year. Fingers crossed, but don't put me at the stake.
We're putting you at the stake. Honestly, I've had enough of this. I need one of these steering wheels. Guys, this is one of the coolest steering wheels. In fact, we're gonna get into the functionality right now. And one of the coolest things is actually on the 777 website, you can actually choose all the different colors and everything custom made to your car. Not only that, you can actually choose the actual lights that light up on those buttons to match whatever colors you have in your car. So, could you give us a demo?
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's take this. So, I guess first step would be for us to build the wheel. So once you're on the website, you can actually spin it around and take a look essentially at what your wheel is. And you break it down into two different categories, OEM hub and CAN hub. Easiest question to ask, is this going on a race car where you've replaced the ECU? Or is it a car that's still on the factory ECU? And if you don't know what any of that means, it's OEM hub. You realistically probably didn't replace your ECU without knowing.
Okay, so this is what I was wondering, and so if I just replace my ECU, then that means I could just have one now, right? Because if it works on an aftermarket ECU, why don't I just go ahead and replace the ECU? That way I can get.
You could, but it's not like changing a headlight bulb or anything like that. ECU, it's a full-on project. It's a full-on project.
And that's okay. I probably sound dumb, but in my mind is I just want to get this wheel on, right? So if it means, so what does that mean that it's a full-on project?
It means that by the time that you finally figure out all of your whole ECU swap and switching over to a standalone ECU, we'll probably already have the steering wheel for the factory ECU out.
Oh, wow.
It's usually not that bad if you have a good, trustworthy tuner and somebody who's used to different ECUs, whether it be Haltech, Link, Max, Motec. These are all the kind of ones that we see on a daily basis. But yeah, it also depends on the car. Gen 3 Coyotes are substantially tougher if you're trying to keep direct injection, which actually I don't even think if you can keep. I think you have to delete it. Wow. So it's a bunch of loopholes and challenges and stuff
so
like that.
that definitely wouldn't be worth losing direct injection for the steering wheel.
I'll say this much. If you don't want to lose your heated and cooled seats for fixed back buckets.
Oh, I will not. I will not be losing my heated and cooled seats. I love them way too much. They're so enjoyable.
then you definitely should not be replacing your ECU.
All right, fair enough. It looks like I got to be patient. I got to wait around a little bit more. But with enough time, hopefully one day this will come out. And honestly, I don't think there's a better team that could be working on such an amazing project, because you guys have seen everything that they've already come out with. You've seen the Mustang, my Mustang that I have at home, the GT500 bumper. I've been using it ever since I started this channel. The front splitter at the front, the handles, they are all such incredible pieces, and this is an incredible team that has just been putting it all together from day one, so there is no one better to work on it.
I appreciate the kind words, really do. I mean, we are a small team, and the thing is that everybody who works here is ultra passionate about what the cause is, basically bringing these motorsport-derived products to people who are just as passionate about us.
Yeah, you're mad young too. You're my age, right? 27?
25.
Oh, you're even younger.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Oh, turning 26 soon, but yeah. But I mean, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it since I was, 17.
Yeah, nice. That's like, I started film around 17.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to building the steering wheel, you basically have OEM hub or CAN hub. Then you select, okay, what car is this for?
You said CAN hub was for the one that is the
Race
when you
cars.
change. Okay, so when you change out the ECU, yeah. So everyone wants the OEM hub for like regular cars.
Exactly. Okay. So then we go to the make and model. If we're going to build it for Supra, you hit Toyota, and then we have the different generations of cars essentially.
There's actually a lot of cars available. Did I see the Lamborghini on there?
Yeah. So we've been working on it for the Gallardo and the Huracan. Oh, wow. There you go. Yeah, Gallardo and Huracan. Yeah, as of right now, it's still a work in progress, but we have had a few Lamborghini orders, mostly for people who are on standalone ECU. We can pick between a round shape or a flat bottom shape, as well as leather or Alcantara. Mm-hmm. And then if it's going to stay exclusively on the track, we have our GT3 wheel, which is super cool, and that's actually what we see here.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that I get a little bit concerned about is losing the airbag.
No, totally fair point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally fair point.
So, so this is kind of like at your own risk kind of thing?
This is definitely at your own risk. Keep it at the track. most of the time, and we've helped customers in the past before. Whenever you are buying this and you're putting it in your track car, it's an ecosystem of safety equipment.
Oh yeah, because something like this would typically be used with a Hans device, a helmet, and harnesses, right?
Right, exactly. If you're in a wheel-to-wheel situation, you'll have a full cage, you'll have your fire suit, you'll have your Hans device, a helmet that has the posts for the Hans device, or you can essentially add it. Some helmets you can add it later. Yeah. The best thing that I can say is to educate yourself and understand what it is that you're doing. You're doing this at your own risk, and if you don't know, get help of a motorsport shop, or give us a call, give us a ring, email us, and I mean, we'd love to point you in the right direction.
Yeah. And that's great that you're offering so much support with all of these things, because someone that would just go ahead and buy it and doesn't exactly know what they're doing or what they're getting into, it's super cool that you guys are open to explaining and supporting your customers in that same way.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all kind of enthusiasts, and we're a way to kind of gatekeep the information. As long as you guys still love cars, we'll still be here.
Very cool. I love the look of it and everything. And yeah, there's always trade-offs, and there's safe ways to do things. So I think there's definitely a place for it. There's definitely a place for it in my car. So whenever it's ready, I'm ready to put it in my car.
Coolest thing too is, even like the magnetic paddle shifters.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
super
very
satisfying.
Yeah.
Yep, they're adjustable in 3 ways with the paddle distance from your fingers.
It almost makes me want an automatic, almost, but I'll stick with the manual.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm doing that swap now.
Oh yeah.
Let me plug the steering wheel into your Windows computer.
Oh, so that's where you program it before you send it out?
Yep. Well, the thing is that it comes pre-programmed with a board.
Oh, okay.
We just need to know the make and model, and then once you do receive it, all of these colors you can change. There's a software.
So people change the colors at home, you don't change them?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, they're going to want to kind of mess around. Exactly. And so, if you take a look, it can all change in real time. So I'll drag this around and you can see what's happening to that button right there.
Oh, wow, yeah, I see that. Let me get a zoom in on that.
And then once you're done, you map out the functions. Okay, what do I want this to do? All that stuff. We include a sticker sheet that you basically add so that you don't forget essentially what it is that button does.
All right, so that about does it for this video. This video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be. Thanks, Matt, so much, dude.
Absolutely.
It was a great time coming out here, seeing everything that they have going on, seeing the behind the scenes of all the parts that you actually see on my car. Now you guys know where it's being made, how it's being made, and most importantly, who's making it, the amazing team out here. See ya.